What's up, guys? Welcome to gwhisky. My name is Jeff. This is a channel where I offer my thoughts and opinions on a specific whiskey, and if you stick around to the end, I'll be giving it a score as well. That sounds interesting? Hit subscribe down below. And with that out of the way, let's jump into our review. Today we're looking at the Kilchoman Machir Bay. Stick around. So this one's been a long time coming. I have no idea why it took me so long to get around to this one, but we're looking at the Kilchoman Machir Bay today. And I've done quite a few Kilchomans on this channel, so yeah, it's kind of crazy that I've never gotten around to their entry-level expression, because I love this brand, and I've been super vocal about that in the past. And I will say this about them, though, they're not totally consistent. There are a few whiskeys that don't really work for me, but the ones that are good absolutely sell me on the brand. There's so many things to like about Kilchoman. They're a small distillery. I think they're the smallest on Islay. They're a farm distillery. They have their own floor maltings. They also grow their own barley on the farm, so broadly speaking, they have a very traditional approach to making whiskey, which I think is super cool, but that's not going to matter if you don't like the whiskey. Luckily, I do. I think Kilchoman is fantastic. I love the house style. It's like feisty and ashy and just delicious. I did a video a while back where I ranked the Islay distilleries. I'll link that up here, but I put Kilchoman as my number 2 on the list. It was just behind Bunnahabhain, which is basically my favorite distillery ever. So yeah, I really do like these guys, but again, not totally consistent. And I don't just mean inconsistencies between different expressions from them, I mean inconsistencies within the same expression from them. I did a video a while back where I reviewed the Snag and I said I really liked it. I do really like the Snag, but man, that whiskey's all over the place. Some are lighter and less sherried, some are darker, more sherried, some are more rugged, some more refined, some are great, some are fine. And you know, that's the thing that happens, especially with newer distilleries. Kilchoman only got started in 2005, and it's not just a Kilchoman thing. I've done a review where I talked about the Arran 10, which I love. Arran, of course, is another newish distillery, and the 10 isn't totally consistent. It is consistently good, but some bottles are better than others. So yeah, that is a thing that happens with newer distilleries. It's definitely happening with the Snag, and I don't know about our Machir Bay here. That might be the case for this one too. So let's find out. Let's jump into our review, see what our whiskey is all about, and in the meantime, if you can kindly leave a like down below, that'd be greatly appreciated. So there's not a single Kilchoman out there with weak specs, and I do applaud them for that. So our ABV on this one is going to be 46%. It's non-chill filtered, and our color is natural. So we have a beautiful natural color here. I do like the Kilchoman bottle shape. I think it's very sort of recognizable. I don't like the Machir Bay quite as much as some of the other bottlings. I like their Loch Gorm, which has a darker color scheme. I like the purple color scheme on the Snag more than this one. The blue color scheme makes it a little bit less, I don't know, premium feeling, but it's still a really nice look. We'll give it 3.5 out of 5 for presentation. We've also got good info here. Non-chill filtered, natural color on the front. On the back, it talks about the casks. So this is a vatting of 90% bourbon barrels and 10% sherry barrels. So just a tiny touch of sherry in here. There's also a little like QR code on the back here that'll take us to the website. They talk about tasting notes there. They mention it's 50 ppm. So lots of good info here and a decent look. I'm okay with it. I did not add water. Let's try the nose. Very nice. So salt, citrus, and peat. So basically, we have a classic Islay profile here. There's a little bit of a mustiness to this. Definitely some barley in here. Some unsweetened vanilla. Our peat is very earthy. And for our citrus, we've definitely got a lot of lemon in here. Maybe a touch of like tangerine at the back. And this is kind of fun. I'm getting some juicy peaches behind all that. It's a subtle note, but it is in there. Listen, this is not reinventing the wheel. It's very much a classic Islay nose, a classic Islay profile, and I'm all for it. And now our palate. Okay. Texture is nothing too special. I'm getting salt and peat up front. Again, that subtle peachy note just behind everything else. Earth, tarmac, fishing net, fish oil, and salt. And now our finish. Okay. More earthiness, more farminess coming through here. definitely. Damp leaves, peat, earth, fresh sea air, black pepper, vanilla, smoke, ash, classic Kilchoman notes here. Lingering farminess, this is medium in length. So this is a really good one, and I don't think that's really going to come across from the tasting notes. When you just list off the flavors in this whiskey, it's just going to sound like a typical Islay whiskey. And in a lot of ways, it is a typical Islay whiskey. Of course, if I say the word typical, that doesn't sound too flattering, but typical Islay, in my book, is actually a compliment. Still, this whiskey is much more than that. It's much more than the notes that I just listed off, and this is the part of the review where I get a little bit more fanciful with you guys, so bear with me. For me, this whiskey smells like a farm. It smells like a farm near the coast, and our farm is surrounded by peat, naturally. And it is not a nice day on our farm. There's heavy rain there. There's a strong wind sweeping across the land. It's carrying with it the scent of the boat sat in the harbor. You're smelling the soil underneath your rubber boots wafting up. What else? There's lots of like citrus and tarmac notes in this. I don't know how to squeeze those into my little fantasy here. You know what? Fuck it. Let's try. So you have a neighbor who lives across the street. That neighbor has a lemon orchard, and the street is freshly paved. Nailed it. So that's it. That's my little like Kilchoman Machir Bay fantasy. Listen, this is a solid whiskey. It's a straightforward Islay. It might not blow you away. A lot of the flavors in here are going to be pretty familiar, but it's well done. Now, with regards to this bottle in particular, I have to say I do like this one a lot more than the last bottle of Machir Bay I had. But to be fair, my last bottle was like 5 years back, and of course 5 years is a long time. Any whiskey from any distillery is likely to change at least a little bit within that time, especially if you're from a newer distillery like Kilchoman. And then of course there's like personal preferences, which also change over time. But yeah, I definitely do like this newer one better. What else? So a question I've been asked in the past is, how does this one compare to its sherry brother, the Snag? In terms of pricing, they're roughly the same price. The Snag is the more expensive of the two, but we're talking, I don't know, like a few dollars or pounds more, nothing too extreme. So how do they size up? Of course, if you're looking for something that's more sherry, you are going to buy the Snag, and if you don't, then you'll buy this. But if you're like me and you like sherry matured whiskeys and bourbon matured whiskeys pretty much equally, it just depends on your day and the mood, which one should you pick? Well, personally speaking, where I'm at right now and where the whiskey's at right now, I might actually go with the Machir Bay. I recently tried a newer bottling of the Snag from 2021, and I wasn't really impressed. Whereas my Machir Bay here, which is also a 2021 release, I feel has improved a lot from the previous versions, and in that side-by-side with the Snag, this one came out on top. Now, of course, things are changing. Kilchoman, young distillery, as I mentioned, we're still seeing some evolution from them. So this is not something that's set in stone. You know, you might ask me again in a year and I'll have a different answer for you. Who knows? But where things are at right now, I prefer this one. And you know, I'm trying to think what else I can compare this to. Of course, I just compared it to the Snag, but the Snag is heavily sherried, so they taste totally different. In terms of taste, I might say this is closest to the Kalila 12. Kalila 12, of course, comes in at 43%, so we just have to imagine Kalila 12 with a higher ABV and just bigger balls in general. So if you like Kalila 12, which I do, but you often find it a little bit light, which I do, check this one out. Anyway, my score here is going to be 88. It's a classic Islay. We have big coastal notes, big citrus notes, big peat, of course. It's all in here. And, you know, it's such a great representation of the house style. So if you want to get to know the Kilchoman house style without any of the bells and whistles, start with this one. Honestly, I would take this over a lot of entry-level whiskeys out of Islay these days, be they no age stated, 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds. Yes, I do understand that this is a no age stated whiskey, and I'm sure that's going to be a problem for some of you out there. It's not a problem for me. It would be if I felt like the whiskey is not ready, if there was too much immaturity there, but I don't think so at all. I think this whiskey is right where it needs to be. So if you want a classic Islay banger of a profile, if you want to explore Kilchoman, great place to start. So I do think our value is good here. I think it's priced accordingly. It's around the same price as most of its entry-level Islay peers. And you know, I actually like this more than stuff like Lefroy 10 or Kalila 12. Even Ardbeg 10, and I know that's going to upset some of you, but hey, that's what I think. Yeah, so this, I think, is pretty much a modern Islay classic. It's one of your Islay staples at this point, and it's definitely worth the money, so check it out. Alright guys, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to help support the channel, please consider becoming a patron. Otherwise, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I do want to hear from you. Have you tried our Kilchoman Machir Bay here? What were your thoughts? Finally, down in the comments below, you can let me know what you want to see me review next, and I'll keep it in mind for my upcoming videos. Bye guys.